Hey guys, we're going to do a lesson on dilations. This is a 8th grade standard. So we're going to take a triangle on the coordinate plane and we're going to apply either a reduction or enlargement. If you take a look, this is where it's currently at, the x and y. So for example, B right now is at 1, 1. Okay? And then C is at 2, negative 2, and then A is at negative 3, negative 1. And if you want to write down those coordinates, you can. So let me go ahead and do that. So B is at 1, 1. C is at 2, negative 2. And then A is at negative 3, negative 1. And this is currently your x and y coordinate. What we want to do is we want to multiply each x and y by 1.5. And what that's going to do is it's going to expand it. It's going to actually enlarge this. It's going to grow much bigger. If this was just 1 and this was just 1, nothing would change. If it's something less than 1, like this one down here, which we're going to do in a second, it's going to make it shrink. In this case, half of its size. But for number 1, it's basically just going to increase by 150%. That's what 1.5 is. 1 is just 100%. Anything less than 1 is going to be smaller. Okay? Again, you're going to notice most enlargements are not going to be bigger than 2 or 3 at max, at most. Otherwise, it won't fit on here. So what you need to do is just take each ordered pair and multiply by 1.5. So and this, again, this is your pre-image. This is your current image. You want to change it to your image, which is your final stage, your second image. This is what's going to grow to, or shrink to. In this case, it's going to grow, it's going to enlarge. So let's take, we could take B or A, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to change to a different color, just so that you can see what's going on here. So we're going to take, let's just start with B. So 1 is X, 1 is Y. So 1 times 1.5 is 1.5. Right? So I'm going to write that down maybe over here. So B prime is going to end up being 1.5, comma 1.5. Okay? A prime, let's go to do A. So negative 3 times 1.5 is going to be 4.5. It's going to be negative 4.5. And then negative 1 times 1.5 is negative 1.5. I should have put that on top. I just realized that. Okay. Alright, so this is A prime. Alright. So C prime, we're going to take 2. That's your x value. Multiply that by 1.5, and you should get 3. And then negative 2 times 1.5 will be negative 3. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take those new ordered pairs. This, again, this is your, let's see if I can write that down here. This is your pre-image. Pre-image. And then what we're going to do is we're going to apply the new, this is the new image. This is the image. And we're going to take those ordered pairs and we're going to plot those here. So let's look for B prime. So B prime is going to be 1.5, 1.5. So 1.5, let's see. Make sure I get to the right place here. 1.5 is right here. And then 1.5 is going to be about right here. Okay. A prime is going to be negative 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. Negative 1.5. It's going to end up about right there. So that's going to be A prime. I forgot to label this B prime. It's so close to B, so I'm just putting a little arrow right there so you can see where it's at. And C is going to end up being 3, negative 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's going to end up right here. And that little dot right here is going to be C prime. So you take your ruler or straight edge of any kind, edge of a book, something, another pencil or pen, if you don't have a ruler. And you're just going to connect the dots. This one's a little bit iffy because I'm writing all into this other writing here. Connect these two here. And you can tell these two are really, really close to that blue line. Same thing, I'm going to try to kind of go around that lettering a little bit. And then this connects here. This is not that good here. So I'm just going to connect it here. And then connect these two here. So sometimes they'll ask you to either draw it or tell the new ordered pair. So you could either give them this as your answer, or you can draw it. But basically, if you take a look, your pre-image was smaller. Everything's being multiplied by 1.5, so it grows by 150%. So that's it for 1. Now for 2, same concept. You're going to multiply all the coordinates, all the ordered pairs, by 0.5. And if you recall, if you multiply by 0.5, you're really just cutting it in half. You're really dividing by 2. And so technically, I guess they could have said, hey, instead of doing this, take x, whatever your x is, and divide by 2. And take your y and then divide that by 2. So they could have done it this way as well. It means the same thing. So when you multiply by 0.5, you're basically cutting it in half. You're dividing by 2. So this basically means the same thing. Okay, so let's take the ordered pairs. Let's find them first. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut those in half. And I think we're going to get some decimals, but we can do this. So E is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is 3, 3. F is 3, negative 2. G is negative 3, negative 2. And then D is negative 3, 3. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take these ordered pairs and then we're going to divide them by 2, or find half of them. So we're going to divide. Let's start with E, since this is positive, positive. So we're going to take this and divide it by 2, and then divide this by 2. So E prime is going to be 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, and then 1.5 again for the y value. F prime, and I should have changed this to a different color. I apologize for that. I didn't do that. We're going to divide this by 3. Divide this one by 2, or find half of it. It's 1.5, and then half of negative 2 is negative 1. Okay, G prime. Divide that by 2, we get negative 1.5. Divide this by 2, we get negative 1. And then, what are we missing? D prime. Okay, let me put D prime on top here. So D prime, negative 3 divided by 2 is negative 1.5. And 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So what I'm going to do is switch to a different color so I can graph this in red. So D prime, so look for negative 1.5, 1.5. So negative 1.5, 1.5 is going to go right here. So that's going to be D prime. And then E, 1.5, 1.5, going to be right here. So E prime is going to be right here. 1.5, negative 1, let's see, it's going to be right here. We can do that, right? F prime. And then G prime is negative 1.5, negative 1, so it's going to end up right there. So that's G prime. That's basically it. So you just basically connect the dots. These are kind of small, so I'm just going to not use a ruler for this. Just try to make a straight line. Okay, and that's it. So you've got your pre-image was the blue, right? This is what it started out as. That was your pre-image. And your red rectangle here is now considered your image. Okay, so remember, the big takeaway here is if you're multiplying by anything greater than 1, it's going to be enlargement, like 1.5. If you multiply anything by less than 1, it's going to shrink. It's going to become what we call a reduction in size. And that's basically it. If you can master those two skills, this lesson will be fairly simple. And anything you do for me at this point in regards to dilations should be easy, hopefully. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.